you're a TikToker first before you became a Twitch streamer and a YouTuber, and you wanted to talk about this. TikTokers have some advice for Joe Biden's new account. Here's how the president can avoid becoming a "how do you do fellow kids" meme. Except this is on Politico, and I don't know how valid this is. Like,
I mean,
who are the TikTokers?
they talk to actual TikTokers.
Yeah, but like, who are the actual TikTokers? Is it like the Harry kid that got paid by the DNC? Do you know him?
I do know Harry.
Do all the TikTokers know each other? Like all the Gen Z TikTokers that do politics know each other?
Yes.
And there's a oh boy guy.
Yes, they're
big news. Oh boy, this is my favorite guy. He's the best.
Oh boy, oh boy, big news. Oh boy, big news. I haven't heard big news. Oh boy, CNN is more. So Donald.
That one is my favorite because there's like my king is versatile. Okay, he's versatile. Like you think he's gonna hit you with the old boy and big news, but then he goes with the he does that like a Sigma Alpha grindset face, and he goes, CNN is a disgrace. Before you recognize it, he hits you with the Kubrick stare, and you're like, oh my god, I'm captivated.
Donald Trump. Oh boy. Oh man. Here's a video of a. So Donald Trump.
This is interesting. He's not like boring like Harry is.
Damn, you got some shots for Harry.
I mean, he's boring. He's a very he's like boring entertainer. I don't know why he's like as popular as he is.
Wait, can I don't know his TikTok. Let's
Harry
look through
Sisson.
808,000 followers. Wait, he doesn't even have that much TikTok clout. I thought he was like bigger than this.
Nah.
Oh my god,
Folks,
he's with Bardock No Bummer.
President Obama is getting ready to help get out the vote.
Harry, why don't you let me handle this one?
You got it.
Bro, this has the vibes of like one of those like Vladimir Putin. You know what I'm talking about? Like the fake Vladimir Putin impersonator TikToks. Like he just doesn't look real in this. It's like weird to see him in a.
So I'm about to go out to campaign because the stakes couldn't be higher in this election.
God, he's so sexy though. I do have to hand it to him.
That's my president right there.
He's sexy as.
True black
We've got
representation.
climate change on the ballot. We've got gun safety on the ballot. And if we elect more members of Congress who are pro-choice, we can actually reinstitute Roe versus Wade as the law of the land. But it's only going to happen if all of you do your part and get out there and vote.
That's crazy.
Harry?
Well, thank you, Mr. President.
He's giving what's his name from Breaking Bad and Better Call Saul. God damn it, what's the dude's name? Gus Fring. He's so charismatic. Okay.
He could also ball. Shout out Barack Obama.
He could ball. That is true. He does, and he smokes cigs, which is very cool. Giancarlo Esposito is who I was thinking of. Yes. This is like the same exact analogy you can get for MSNBC, but basically from someone who is like 20 years old.
Yes. MSNBC had on, I think, Olivia and Victor. I know Victor was like big. I think Simone had them on talking about like Gen Z politics.
He's giving guy who says Pisaki bomb unironically in a TikTok.
I would not be surprised.
Yeah, and that's what I call a Pisaki bomb.
You know, I keep seeing people on social media, especially those who are very, very far left, saying this.
I voted for Biden in 2020. I have never liked him. And when I first heard that he was going to be the Democratic candidate, I said that I wasn't going to vote in 2020, but I felt like it was important, and I felt like he was the lesser of two evils. And I still feel that. But after today, I cannot imagine voting for him in 2024. Because at this point, the lesser of two evils for whom?
Yeah,
the girl he's recording over is a charlatan.
Wait, really? I don't know anything about her. I just see her like pop up sometimes.
I'm not going to vote for Biden in 2024 is maybe one of the most selfish and insane strategies I've ever seen in politics.
Preach,
look,
brother.
If Donald Trump wins,
this guy, my goat. Okay, he's the king. Is he wearing Teddy Fresh? No.
I want every single person who went on social media and said things like this and encouraged their followers not to vote to do a couple things for me. Go to every single family who lost a child in a mass shooting and tell them, yeah, I didn't vote for Biden, even though he passed the first piece of major gun legislation in over 30 years.
That was so sick. I would love to hear the details of said gun legislation and how far it went in restricting the basically unmitigated gun purchasing in this country.
True.
That's cool. That's definitely really good. Really good gun legislation passed under Brandon. He's right. He solved gun violence.
There was no more shootings after he was elected.
Crazy. It's crazy how he solved gun violence, and we're out here talking about how we might not vote for him again.
let Trump win. Go to the little girls, the teenagers in Republican states who were assaulted and had to have their assaulter's baby and tell them, yeah, I didn't vote for Joe Biden.
The f is he talking about? That happened under the Biden administration, though. Yes, that is the problem of the Republican Party. The Republican Party absolutely did that. They did it under the Biden administration. The only valid talking point you can do is that Republicans will further restrict access to abortion in even blue states. And that part is true. They would definitely do that.
Even though he's appointed pro-choice judges every single opportunity he's had, and I let Donald Trump.
Yeah, remember when we were doing so well on the judge appointments because Dianne Feinstein was a corpse that we also still propped up in a similar fashion to Joe Biden, and therefore there was like gridlock in the Congress for even judge appointments under the Brandon regime as well, due to the fact that Dianne Feinstein was like one step out the door. And I don't just mean literally 1 foot out the door of the Senate or Congress in general. I mean straight up life. I'm talking life. She died. Anyway, she couldn't even do the one job that she was supposed to, which is like rubber stamping those approvals.
And then go to the seniors on Medicare who now have their insulin.
This guy's not even good at like doing this propaganda. Maybe it's because I'm old and I've been at this game for quite some time. I always say this about like right-wing commentators and how I could do a better job. But like the real way to celebrate Brandon's accomplishments is by actually talking about his accomplishments, to which there are definitely a decent amount.
Yeah.
Talking about how he's the most pro-labor president, being one of them, which is a low bar to clear, but Brandon has absolutely cleared it. His NLRB has actually done a phenomenal job so far. Even the FTC's cooking as well, simultaneously with like some antitrust cases. You have areas that you can actually talk about. For some weird reason, he's only hitting the high notes that are not good and talking about areas that he has demonstrated weakness. But even if you were to talk about climate change, right? You could still turn around and say things like Biden's legislation, despite being stopped short of the actual agenda he wanted to achieve, was still very good at reinvesting into American manufacturing. We have literal battery plants that will most likely be unionized now as a consequence of the power that the UAW has had, where there are actual battery plants and EV manufacturing happening in the United States of America, and that did happen under the Brandon regime.
Yeah, the problem with Harry specifically and all these other like Democratic Party activists is that they don't do any research. And that's what you notice a lot being in these spaces and interacting with them. They wake up in the morning, set up their phone, and they talk about things that they've seen on Twitter that are like, this is what, Biden has done and that are good. They don't really invest in their craft of dick riding Joe Biden, which is why it's so sad. I respect somebody who actually invests in their craft and actually, puts time and effort into their work. And Harry doesn't do it, unfortunately.
Yeah, Harry, get better. Get better at propagandizing for the Democratic Party, son.
$35 a month because of President Biden and tell them, yeah, I didn't vote for President Biden,
Wait,
even though he passed the Medicare, who now have their insulin cap at $35 a month because of President.
Bro, this is literally doing the same that like MAGA fans of Trump would do, but for the Biden side. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like the insulin capping, great. This is good. It falls short of what is necessary.
President Biden and tell them, yeah, I didn't vote for President Biden, even though he passed the Inflation Reduction Act, which did that. And now Donald Trump is going to come into office.
Again, the Inflation Reduction Act is yet another instance of Democratic Party incompetence. I covered it every step of the way, and I could not imagine how little whipping occurred in that process. It blew my mind how bad they were at like whipping votes and galvanizing their ranks. It is insane. A gift wrap to all of the naysayers in the Democratic Party, the rotating villain, showcasing once again that like even when you're winning, you're still losing.
You know the crazy part about that, specifically from like the influencer side of it, they were offering influencers like thousands of dollars in order to post only good things about the IRA. And if you were like, hey, I'm going to be a little bit critical in my video, and they'd be like, oh, you're critical, you don't get the money. That's why I always say if you see influencers that are unable to be critical of Biden to any degree, there is a good chance that through some maybe proxies or organizations, they're getting paid to say the things that they're saying.
If Trump wins, you will be part of the reason why. You will be part of the reason why.
This attitude does not work.
It doesn't.
It doesn't. I don't know why Democrats still do it.
Want to see a crazier person on TikTok?
Yes.
Also, Black History Month. This is a black person. His name is Too Raw, Too Real.
Oh, dude, this is the K-Hive guy.
Yes, it is. That's
this
the K-Hive.
Is the K-Hive guy.
Yep.
Yo, he's the best. He's at least entertaining, though.
This is funny.
I mean, he's entertaining in like the most like identical to MAGA type way. I actually love this guy because like,
bro, what is he wearing?
It's just, yeah, he's insane. And he's like a serial doxer, if I'm not mistaken. That's what I heard. Like he was, because when he linked up with Kamala, people were like, "You guys brought this dude into the White House. He's like doxed people."
Yeah.
I love him.
Hi, I'm Too Raw, Too Real, and I'm here to say special counsel. The reason why is you keep bringing up Biden's age as if that's a problem. We knew he was old when we voted for him the first time.
He got the kente clout from Nancy.
But it was so unnecessary. Just say that he did absolutely nothing wrong, but yet you want to bring up his age again. You want to dog whistle again. We know this isn't about Biden.
Dog whistle. Dog whistle about a 80-year-old man who once famously said that like he doesn't want his kids growing up in a racial jungle.
True.
Okay, that's crazy. Biden would have slurred this man, and he wouldn't even know which slurs to use. He would have done a McFlurry of slurs. He's like, what are you, Jack? Back in the day. Oh my God.
To be fair, we don't know what was said to, because he's met Kamala. So we don't know what was said with to Biden. He might have said some choice words.
Dude, it'd be sick if this guy like started talking about, he took an anti-Biden slant to be like, Biden should step out of the way for Kamala because he's a K-hiver, right?
True.
I think he's the K-hiver actually.
He should be like, bro, support black women. Why are you supporting this old white man instead of the young, full of energy black woman who's already in a position of power?
Yeah, that's kind of fucked up that he's not like in support of Kamala more.
Because this same old man who you guys constantly question his competency led us out of a pandemic, which led us to an endemic, because 71% of Americans are vaccinated. We're not in the same situation that we were. We're not on lockdowns as we were. We're not losing jobs left and right. Actually, we created about 13 million new jobs since the Biden-Harris administration.
He's so much better than Harry. He's so much more charismatic. He has like incredible stage presence. I do love him.
I don't think he's getting paid the same.
800,000 manufacturers.
Oh no, he's too insane. I think.
Yeah.
No, he's definitely on some very different shit.
Jobs
awesome.
under Biden. The record amount of $132 billion worth of student loan debt under Biden. Let's not talk about numbers, because numbers don't lie, but you do. It's never been about his age. It's been about his predecessor. It's about.
Wait, I don't really understand.
Is he wrong, age. Austin?
It is about his age. Like, no, literally, like all of the things that he mentioned are not wrong. Okay, like maybe a little exaggerated. Except, yeah, it's still about his age. I don't know who these guys are talking to, because like
each other,
pretty much, right? I mean, there's definitely a lot of. I feel like there's a lot of like boomer white and black ladies out there who like have made their way into TikTok that probably do think like, oh, preach.
Yeah.
Like you're preaching.
I mean, to be fair, like those people were in my TikToks as well. Before I was like, expressly anti-Biden when I was doing the coding campaigns, the same people were being like, oh, we have such hope for the younger generation. You're doing so great. I saw you see the profile pictures. But when you're just like, hey, I wish Biden would be doing more, they then turn around and they're just like, wow, I can't believe you betrayed, the people who've put you here or whatever. So
Vice President Kamala Harris and her blackness, and the fact that she's a black woman and she's competent and she's ready to lead. We already know that you guys don't like her. Let's talk about MSNBC. Let's talk about CNN. Let's talk about how you guys continuously.
He's got smoke for MSNBC and CNN.
Okay,
wait a minute.
Okay.
Oh, because they're not glazing Biden enough, which is true. Like CNN, I feel like definitely is just like aching for another Trump term so they can get like their ratings back.
Out of polling data when she ran in 2020, how you guys were purposely leading her out of polling data when she was polling higher than Pete Buttigieg. Let's talk about how the fact that y'all cut her out of the Giffords Gun Forum commercial when she had one of the longest speaking roles in that commercial.
Yeah, he's a real Stan. This is like some Stan shit. This is like 100%. Like he knows all of Kamala's hits. Even Kamala's misses, okay? They're still hits. I love him.
She's been an advocate when it comes to talking about gun safety.
Yeah, remember when Kamala was portrayed by that very same media that he hates as like more progressive than Bernie Sanders? Well, her voting record shows that she's more progressive than Bernie Sanders. It's like, yeah, okay, dude, sure.
Let's talk about the blatant misogyny. Let's talk about the erasure of the fact that Vice President Kamala Harris has broken more ties than any vice president in history, meaning she's surpassed every white, mediocre white man that's been in office since her.
Tell him, King.
Let's talk about that.
Let him know.
It's never been about Biden.
She should be president next, I say.
And you should be. Because let's just be honest here. You guys want to hold on to white supremacy and patriarchy because it's propelled you to a position.
Yeah, you know who will eradicate white supremacy and patriarchy? Kamala Harris.
True.
Kamala Harris, the white supremacy destroyer, the patriarchy destroyer for sure. That's awesome.
Power with you being able to skip on by with white mediocrity without ever having to be challenged on your own records or your own resume. It's not our fault that we have to work 10 times as harder for no credit. And we still outmaneuver you.
Is this a conclusion to this? Like, still vote for Biden?
It's black.
Because that's how the video started. The video started like...
The video started with vote for Biden, and then, like, it went into a glaze sesh for Kamala, which, like, low-key is throwing shade at Biden.
Yeah. It's like, I'm tired of propping up white mediocrity.
Yeah.
You sit in your high horse. You
Who's
have
the
less
most
resume.
white mediocre man in this situation that's standing in Kamala's way?
True.
I'm almost certain, like, I'm shocked that they let him into the White House because, like, I feel like if there's one Fedayeen that's brave enough to take out Joe Biden, it's this fucking dude. They're gonna... You put him near Joe Biden, he's gonna... put him near Joe Biden in a flight of stairs, you know? It's going to be a kinetic situation, okay?
Kinetic situation.
Black History Month.
Okay, let's look at this guy. His name is My Dude, and he's responding to... Oh, no.
Oh, he's already supported.
It's over. I support him unconditionally because he's shitting on Lolo, a fraudulent individual wwho we found out is related to Dan Scavino.
You cannot vote for this man.
That's why he's saying you can't vote for Biden, because the Dan Scavino angle is becoming more apparent.
There are a lot of people saying that they're not going to vote for Joe Biden over what's going on in Palestine. And it angers me. It angers me for the same reason that we're all angry about what's happening in Palestine. From my perspective, I'm watching a bunch of people that didn't bother to make videos about any other global conflict during the Biden or Trump administration.
Oh my God, dude. Oh my Lord. I hate this so much.
Yep.
Administration suddenly thinking it's a great idea.
Okay, but like, what are you doing? I don't like this. I don't like this at all. People will be like, oh, why aren't you talking about what's going on in Congo or...
Well, he's not even saying that. He's saying, why haven't you talked about like Ukraine? That's what he's saying, the other things that happened in the Biden administration. He's like, why haven't you talked about like other like big things? He's not even talking about the Congo. I don't even think he cares about the Congo, honestly.
No, he just cares about it to the extent of like, using it as a talking point against the thing that you're talking about.
Yeah, 100%.
If you're consistent on the matter, if you truly care about global conflicts, then you shouldn't be attacking people to be like, here's a silly little gotcha.
Yeah.
To sabotage the election. I talked about the 85,000 children that died in Yemen under Trump's policies. I talked about the increase in drone programs by over 400%. I talked about the Kurdish-Turkish war. I talked about a whole host of things that Donald Trump did that were detrimental to lives in the international community. And people...
Yeah, famously, remember when Biden was elected and like the drone part is like he did greatly limit the drone stuff, and then look where we're at now. It's just more direct hands-on airstrikes on Yemen, which is ironic. But also beyond that, it's like he said Turkish-Kurdish war, right? What has happened since Biden's election to the northern Syrian corridor? Has that actually greatly diminished? No. It's very obvious that like this is a pure talking point with like not a lot of research behind it. That's why I said the drone thing is like one talking point, I guess, even though it doesn't really matter at this point. But ultimately, Biden himself did not reverse course on any of those foreign policy initiatives, with that one notable exception of like utilization of drone strikes.
If this is the only conflict you want to care about, that's fine. Nobody can make you care about other conflicts. But if you knew about the stuff that Donald Trump did during his presidency and the stuff the Republicans want to do, this wouldn't even be a discussion. I mean, you're really going to let Trump off the hook? He cheered on Bibi when he bombed Gaza in 2019. Did you guys forget about that? This thought process isn't new. Caused people to vote for Ralph Nader, gave us 2 wars in Iraq, killed 1.5 million Iraqis. Caused people to vote for Jill Stein, gave us Donald Trump, cost us Roe v. Wade, killed 85,000 children in Yemen. Have you seen a pattern? I'm going to be blunt. I have a hard time believing that you truly care about what's happening in Palestine.
I'm gonna be honest, this is like permanent debate lord brain, because it's like you're not even addressing the matter at hand, and you're just immediately looking for a gotcha.
Yeah.
This is not like a good way to conduct a serious or decent analysis on anything. It's just simply maybe this guy is a much nicer person that now that you guys said he's a fan of mine, now I have to not be as aggressive in my commentary here, but like the notion of perceived hypocrisy does not negate the point that this person is making. This is something that for some weird reason, like people who do debates online forget. You didn't do anything. You just you support Palestine. Name every regional conflict is not going to win favors on any conversation other than like other people who also purely care about the aesthetics.
People should be mad at Joe Biden, 100%. But if Donald Trump gets into office, a lot more people are going to die. And those deaths aren't on Joe Biden. They're on you.
But that doesn't even make any sense, because like if you are withholding your vote in order to pressure Biden to, stop directly funding Israel or giving them weapons and munitions, wouldn't that make you more moral than this person who's saying just keep voting for him anyway, even in his like worldview?
Yes, if your vote matters, if your vote actually matters, and all the things that the president does is directly on your hands, then no one should vote, because that's insane. You're directly saying, vote for Joe Biden and celebrate his accomplishments, such as killing thousands of Palestinian children in Gaza that we are directly funding and facilitating. Because it could be 1,001 children if Donald Trump became the president.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, are there more bangers like this one? I love these like TikTok.
I found a Chris Mowry with an E.
Chris Mowry and wait, they're exposed as political hacks. Oh,
that's a conservative kid?
Oh,
he's
God.
Exposing them by like being like, oh, they're connected
We all
with
know
like
this
power.
kid, right? And how about this one? Well, as many of us have
Dude, like Republicans always do win the bitchless Olympics. Like even when you look at like dudes that I would say are massive nerds, like young Republicans will still win that category every time. They are genuine gold winners every single time at the no pussy having Olympics. Oh my Lord.
Suspected for a long time, looks like those two are partisan hacks bought and paid for by the DNC to the tune of around $210,000. If you check their bios, both of them are managed by a company called Palette Media. And you might think, well, why is that important? Because Palette Media received direct payments by the DNC totaling $210,000. Apparently, the DNC didn't want to make direct payments. By the way, all of this is publicly available on the FEC website, so they don't want to make direct payments exposing Harry and his goons. So instead, they get a little creative with their accounting. First, they send the money to Palette, which then manages their talents like Harry. Now, none of this...
Damn, we really cracked the case, dude.
True.
Look at how he cracked the case by looking at an Axios article. Like, this is the thing that blows my mind always, is like, bro, this is like very open. This is very public. Like, it's not... You're not arriving at like some secret truth. This reminds me of how people said TYT is Qatar funded because they received money from Al Gore. Yeah, exactly. Which is true. TYT is Qatar funded, and so am I.
Surprise anyone, because it's public knowledge that Biden started an army of social media influencers. But I guess they didn't want you to know who.
That's not
We all know
fully
this
true.
kid, right? And how about this one?
I
Well, as
genuinely
many of
think
us-
that after 2020, there was a lot of organic growth for Biden and support for Biden in order to, like get Trump out of office. And so I don't think he grew a army of TikTokers to like fight Trump. I think they grew on their own. I will say now he's definitely trying to grab that base of support and then sort of associate with that in order to try to win in 2024, and it's not going to work.
This is the other guy. He looks exactly like
Republicans,
Harry.
listen,
Yeah.
Gen Z is woke. We support diversity. We support inclusion. We support LGBTQ+, and we are socially conscious. We care about these issues. And look, Republicans think it's a home run point when they call us woke and try to demonize us. But here's the thing. We're woke and proud, and we are
we
the
gonna start
voters of the
rapping?
future. Exactly. We're going to be one of the largest voting blocs in 2024. So I change your strategy.
Okay. Harry Sisson literally had a debate-gasm by owning this interlocutor in the marketplace of ideas.
Wait. The Department of Justice controlled by Donald Trump even determined that Hillary Clinton didn't break the law.
I like the guy with the Trump hat better.
Speak to me, bro.
He's better than you.
He's silent! We can't say anything!
This is like the nerdy white version of like when you get like owned but in a rap battle at the high school lunch table.
He's busted. Okay, he just busted a nut, and you're over here making fun of him. This is a profound accomplishment.
This is his moment.
Many Trump supporters don't know facts. It's like, yeah, no shit, dude. Like, what the that's awesome.
Comey said we couldn't find someone who would prosecute.
No, Comey said she didn't break the law. Under the Espionage Act, Section F of 793, she did not.
Nerd.
Dude, if I had a time machine, I would go back in time and arrest Aaron Sorkin. Okay, I would jail him because his crimes against humanity have permanently made this sphere of liberalism, this sect of liberalism that thinks that they can like own their interlocutors in the marketplace of ideas, the most unbearable motherfucker. I don't understand your hate for West Wing. What do you mean? My hatred for West Wing is pure aesthetic liberalism that believes that there is like a comfortable middle ground that we can all arrive at through genuine debate. It's like everything I despise. Okay, what else? What else you got for me?
There was the political article that I wanted to
Oh yeah, here. Let's get back to that. So TikTokers have some advice for Joe Biden's new account.
I think this is good because it shows the entire breadth of all of like the political TikTokers, because Gen Z for Change is actually quoted in this alongside Olivia as well, and a bunch of other people too.
Biden's leveraged social media influencers to spread this message in the past, but this marks the first foray into TikTok himself. Oh my God! Oh
Chiefs
no!
But if I didn't say I was for the Eagles, then I'd be sleeping alone. My wife's a Philly girl.
Game or commercials?
Game.
Game or halftime show?
Game.
Jason Kelsey or Travis Kelsey?
Mama Kelsey. I understand she makes great chocolate chip cookies.
Deviously plotting to rig the season so the Chiefs would make the Super Bowl, or the Chiefs just being a good football team?
I'd get in trouble if I told you.
Trump or Biden?
You kidding?
Biden. That's, oh my God. Just hand him the phone and let the man cook. What? VSFR runs Under the Desk News, a TikTok account with 3 million followers that breaks down news of the day in short form videos. What is this account has 3 million followers? What the is this?
They do like a lot of news coverage and such.
Dude, I don't know shit about shit, man. TikTok has got like a whole different universe.
They're like the Philly D of TikTok.
Philly D is the Philly D of TikTok, I thought.
Philly D was taking V's entire flow. For sure, for real.
Oh, really? Okay.
Yep.
Well, of course we're going to talk about him. Today at Philly's Sneaker Con, former President Donald Trump.
Why are they like laying in the ground?
Under the desk.
Why is it under the...
I don't know. That's a brand thing. TikTok has like an identity thing. So you have to have an identity to grow.
Oh my God.
Dropped a sneaker. Democratic strategist and spokesperson Michael Tyler said Donald Trump showing up to hawk bootleg off-whites is the closest he will ever get to Air Force Ones again. Yes, just
ownage.
One day after being found liable for fraud, sick, I will say. He dropped.
That's insane. Those are off-brand creative recreations, and it's nasty. It's nasty work.
Okay, the American flag on the back is a bit much, I will say.
It's terrible across the board. There's some shit that like that's like a one-off that what's the dude who did the halftime show like many years ago? Now I'm forgetting. He's like very short.
Bruno Mars.
Bruno Mars, yes. Yeah. That's like some shit Bruno Mars would wear one time for a performance, and then that's it, and never again. So Gen Z, Claire Simon.
Yes.
Gen Z for Change Communications Coordinator and Election Projects Chair, previously called TikTok for Biden in 2020, though the group was grown more critical of the president since he took office and was many to pen a letter to the president warning not to take young people's votes for granted amid concern over Gaza. I would be the first person to tell you about the power of TikTok as a campaign tool, so I would say this is not an unexpected move for the Biden campaign. Since 2020, TikTok has been proven again and again to be very powerful when it comes to politicians connecting with young people. So as someone who has worked in this intersection of politics and social media for a while now, I'm not at all surprised they hopped on. That being said, when it comes to the president of the United States of America using TikTok, this is really a substance over style issue. Yes, TikTok is where young people are right now, but it's where a lot of young people who are pretty unhappy with Biden are. And so what that means is just posting memes isn't really going to fix the issue for him. Political memes have their place. TikTok has its place. But, and especially when you're one of the most powerful people in the country, you have to use discretion and intentionality for them to be their best. While Joe Biden's team was posting content about Taylor Swift in the Super Bowl, the Israeli military was launching airstrikes into Rafah. And a lot of people I know read this as incredibly tone deaf. You can see it on the page too. Many of the top comments are about Palestine and Rafah. Even what they posted Monday, a dig at Trump about Roe v. Wade. I think it was another misstep.
I got rid of Roe v. Wade. I'm the one that got rid of
Damn, this really banged, dude. 9,000 likes. Holy shit.
Roe v. Wade. And what I did by killing Roe v. Wade, I did it. And I'm proud to have done it.
Yeah, this is basically posturing and like making light of an issue that is like very serious for a lot of people. And if your expectation is that people have to go out and vote to stop this from happening, you shouldn't be flaunting this as a major dub for you, because like this is good for people who are already invested in the Democratic Party, like the dick riders of the Democratic Party, the loyalists of the Democratic Party. They will look at this situation and go, yeah, it's great that Trump is openly admitting this, lol, right?
Yeah.
But many people who you're supposed to reach out to, who you're supposed to galvanize, or you're supposed to get out to vote for Roe v. Wade, to protect Roe v. Wade, to them, you're like making light of the situation. You're like, oh, this is nothing but a political tool for you, that like millions of people lost access to a medical, like a piece of medical care.
Yeah. And so it's just, young people like see that and they're like, they don't see like, oh yeah, this is what Trump did, this is why we need to vote for Biden. They see, okay, but it's been 4 years since Trump, and what have you done in any regard to fix any of the issues that you claim to care about?
Yeah, ultimately this is a campaign account. Biden wants to convince young people that don't feel comfortable voting for him right now to change their minds, and there isn't a way around that besides listening to what's being asked of him: action on Palestine, more climate initiatives, etc. Once he makes actual policy moves on those issues, TikTok will serve him as a great tool to authentically promote and share his work once it begins. But memes and digs at Trump won't get him very far in terms of swaying votes. There's so much more content I can think of as being a great move for him, but it's all dependent on actual actions he needs to make outside of everyone's phone screens and in the real world. This is a great take.
Claire's awesome. She has communications for the organization. I think that the main point I wanted to make with this article specifically is you see a wide breadth of different people in who make content on TikTok who are young people, and where I think Gen Z for Change differs than like other organizations like Voters of Tomorrow or like, you know, Olivia or Harry or whatever, is that no other organization really wants to be critical of Biden. They want those opportunities to go to the White House and meet with like politicians, and they won't ever like actually put their morals where they actually claim that they should be. And that's why I came back to Gen Z for Change, and that's why I think, at least in like how far you can do as like a, you know, youth activist organization, I think they're doing pretty well.
So you came here to defend Gen Z for Change. Got it.
I came here to support my friends. Shout out Claire.
Tyler Lickstein is an internet personality, podcast host. He has 1.3 million followers on TikTok. Don't try to be younger or cooler or different than you are.
It's just kind of crazy to me that like you see like, oh, don't be don't be so serious. Be a goofy old man. Young people don't like you for what you're doing in Palestine, how you're directly funding Israel. Don't be be silly and goofy. It's totally okay.
Yeah.
Like it's kind of crazy to me.
I think he should just do this.
Donald Trump, big news. Big
True.
news. Donald Trump, oh boy, the DO, big news. Oh boy. So Donald.
If we could get Biden hitting a oh boy, I'm voting for him.